All right, welcome. In this great series, we're going to be expanding a little bit on what we did last time, because that's how series work. You progress through the development of the application. Quick recap of where we're at. We have we're building a wrapped ETH to Ethereum and vice versa converter. We have our URL router for the main one, loading the home component, and if I want to change that upper converted as a tag here, and there's also a subheader link here that I can write convert maybe to ETH conversion application. Let's call it that, huh? Great. Now, on my ASAP Rocky video, we'll go ahead and close that. Now we've got this brilliant. Now, one of the things that Semantic UI offers is actually the container prop. And this forces everything to be a certain width standard amount. And you'll notice that, great, now it's not just hugging the left side of the app. Like if we go full screen, it has that specific width, and it's doing this on the other side as well. wETH to ETH conversion application, I think we're gonna have a divider underneath it, and that's gonna be about it for this main application. Now, on the home page, no. Let's do a couple. Now, one thing we are going to need, let's say we have a home page, we're going to need the ability to navigate between home, between the conversion, looking at conversions we've done in the past. Now, and the other thing I could do is actually have this all displayed on one page, just do it all on home. That's another option too, but just to kind of show how a menu and routes would work, let's go ahead and build a menu right here that allows us to change the URL endpoints. We can go to home, we can go to assets, whatever. So what we'll do, I think we'll have another divider here, because we're going to have this on every single page. So we will have a divider here, and we're going to have a component. We'll make a new one called menu.jsx. Let's go ahead and copy this over, and we do need to rename the component to menu. And let's import menu from Semantic UI React. Now, we don't need this div. We can just return the menu component itself. And let's go ahead. I think with menu we have menu.item. Now, one thing I will show you guys, if you're trying to understand how to use this Semantic UI library, go to the Semantic UI React. Well, they got a GitHub, but they have some great documentation. And if you go down to menu, you will see all the information for the menu component. You can see it in action. You can see it. This is what a secondary would look like. This is what a pointing would look like. This is what a secondary pointing would look like, which actually looks pretty nice. In fact, I'm in the mood for a secondary menu. So one of the things you can do is actually, now this has it blocked off into a left menu and a right menu. If we wanted to do that, we could. But Matter of fact, you can even edit it like this in real time and see what it would look like. So let's go ahead and copy this, and you'll notice it has this on click, handle item click, and what that is showing is pointing to a function, active item. Now, we don't need to do this. In fact, Kadira Flow Router that allows us to access different URL endpoints has a very nice, nicely built-in tool. If you look at this name for each of the flow routers, you'll see that we could simply reference if something is active, if the current flow router path is, the name of the path is equal to it. And let me just make sure I'm doing this appropriately as I have done in the past. Yes. So the way you access that, let's say we have a menu, and let's say we have 2 items. You know, I like to do things, let's keep it like this, right? Okay, so let's say we have home, and there can be a home icon on it if you add in the home tag. If it's active, we can say only if flow router dot get root name is equal to home or equal to convert in for the other one. And I don't even think we need, I think we can just cancel it out and actually use the name just like this. And if I copy it 2 more times, we could have something called assets, an assets page, and convert page. Because we only have the convert page right now, let's just do home and convert. I really want to add in the assets, but we'll save that for later. Or maybe not do it at all. And now that we have the menu, we want to import it into our main layout. Remember I was saying you just type it, and you have to hit enter. And then it's saying, where do you want to import it from? Yes, from that. And now we have that menu nicely positioned. Good God, look at all that. Nicely positioned, right? Ooh, duplicate declaration menu. Oh, so here's the thing. We're importing menu from Semantic UI React and saying that this component here is also a menu and trying to export it. Let's rename this navbar. And let's rename this navbar because there is already a component within the Semantic UI library. And let's make sure we're importing it. Oh, we're not importing it there, but we are importing it there. We're importing the component navbar, not the menu component. And then we'll go ahead and do that, and I think that should have solved it. Great. So this is something we will need to consider. Now, one of the things that also makes applications look good is if you have like large spaces and da-da-da. So let's beef this up a little bit, and let's get this on the white color theme that we're already going with, or the inverted color theme. I think we can invert it, and let's have a black and red. Let's have a black and red theme, right? And then for the main layout, you can actually add icons. I'll show you how you do that. Import an icon. icon name equals globe, right? And then size is equal to massive. And then maybe text align this to the center. And actually, style needs to be, we want to increase the font size to maybe 3 EM, or about 300% of what it typically is. And, this is looking good, but I want that icon to just move over a little bit. Come on, icon, what are you doing? Okay, maybe we need to have a header.content. There are some weird nestings, you know, and I might need to put the subheader in that as well, but let's see if that fixes it and aligns the icon. Whoa, oh doggy. Let's go ahead and put icon like that and see what it does. Okay. Is that it? Is that good? We're not reloading it, we're not refreshing it. Good. And we'll go ahead and add one more brace, or break, I should say, to the top. Just create a little bit of breathing room up there. And now I've got something that's feeling a little bit more professional. Now this down here below looks like garbaggio. We're going to get rid of this inverted, and I think that ought to do it. Right, yeah, okay. And if this could all be condensed, I don't know if it's possible to align the menu to the center, but if it is, I'll find out very quickly. So what we're doing right now is just a little bit of design so that, you know, everything looks a little bit nicer. Might not be possible to align a menu to the center. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, I got a different idea. We're going to do a grid. It's going to be a 50-50 grid, so 50% on the left, 50% on the right, and we're going to make this menu aligned. What would you call that? Vertically aligned? Yes. So a grid, this is fantastic. You're learning so much about the semantic UI library. So a grid within our container can have 2 columns of equal width. You start out with a row, and then you have 2 columns, each with 50% of the real estate given to it. We will go ahead and throw our wETH conversion application over there. We will throw our nav bar on the right and update the nav bar so that it's vertical, and I'm gonna update the handle item click so it actually is changing the endpoint, the router. And yeah, I mean that's yeah. Well, that really wasn't what was intended. In fact, it would look a lot better if we swapped. So let's go ahead and swap. And I think that'll look good. Now, let's get back to navbar, icons, settings, and I'll kind of show you what it would look like to have a couple different pages, and also to actually have the pages load. We don't need name. If flowrouter.go if name equals flowrouter.go there. Else if name equals convert flowrouter.go convert. And that will trigger the convert route or the home route, depending on which one is selected. I'm just putting in a filler just so you can kind of get an idea of some other things that would happen, and obviously to show how this could be expanded to have more routes. We have home, convert. Ooh. Well, we're definitely, ooh. Okay, so there was some trick that I needed to use to ensure that when I change, it updates. Oh, what is going on? For some reason, when I load the, okay, so let's try and debug this. Why is it? There is no route for the path convert. If we go to our nav bar, because I didn't have a slash in front of the convert, and that's why it was not loading and rerouting to the appropriate page. So let's go ahead and do this. And now when I do home or convert, I get the appropriate thing that I want. Now, after all is said and done, this looks pretty bad. But that's the beauty of design. You get to look at it and say, you know what? I changed my mind. So we'll go ahead and put that back up there. We'll put the nav bar in the divider. There's actually a that's a dispensary menu. There's actually a way to make it equal widths. Fixed, floated, size, widths equals 4. So if I go to navbar and I say widths equals 4, and then the menu's fluid instead of vertical, it's fluid all the way across. Then we're gonna get this nice like home, convert, history, settings, and it really does look nice when it's all, you know, like home, convert, history, settings, and this is just feeling a little bit nicer. Perhaps I could get rid of the dividers, but I'm not gonna worry about it for right now. Where are we at? 18 minutes? Okay, we're gonna cut it here. Next thing we're gonna do is actually start pulling some statistics from our smart contract and start talking to it.